So what can I say? The second one is, of course, free will, and this is not
Yeah.
only tied to Christianity, but it's tied to, I would say, humanity, because free will is the pride of humanity, of course. I mean, God has designed humanity in such a way that they have a certain pride and a certain feeling for justice, so to speak. So they want to achieve, humanity wants to achieve themselves. And that will happen in the era, in the short era, luckily, the short era to come, the era of God's indignation that is very close now. So that will be the era of the pride of humanity. So it will be prevalent, and now it's already prevalent, of course. Free will is one of their main, um, I would say, what objects of pride. Free
Yeah.
will. So
Yeah.
every religion, but also atheists, all humanity thinks that they have free will, independent of God, while that is a lie. For let me mention some things. First of all, the will of people, or the will of a human being, is influenced by what? Because we are influenced. Even we know that we are influenced because marketing influences people. Commercials influence people. We know that. So we know that people's will are being influenced. We know that already. But what are the four foundational, I think four, yes, foundational factors to be influencing people's will and decision making? Can you mention them?
Well, the spiritual plane, I would say, because the spiritual forces can influence people, right?
Yes,
Would
of course,
wouldn't that
but
be one?
not counting those. The
Okay, so
normal
I would say
foundational ones.
the internet,
Yes, but
music, things like
yeah,
that.
true. All yeah, true. Well, commercials, music, internet, all of them. But I mean the truly foundational ones, the real foundational ones. I think maybe you are looking for it in another frequency or another wavelength. But so I will mention the first one. Then
Okay.
you know what I'm thinking of. DNA, our bloodline.
Okay.
That is a huge influencer of our will and our decision making.
Okay. I would
Huge.
say psychology, so your mind, so the way that you think.
Yes. Psychology is a mix of our bloodline, DNA, and the second one, upbringing.
Okay.
Our upbringing is a huge determinator of our will, our decision making. But there is a third one, and that is the timing of our birth. The
That's
timing of our birth is also because there are constellations. Whether you like it or not, believe in it or not, there are 12 constellations and even years, 12 kind of years, and it exists. That's how God has designed his creation. And they influence our personality, they influence our character. So
so
these are
would that
also determinators.
would those be the zodiac signs like
Yes,
Leo and Scorpio and things
what
like that?
what we call zodiac signs. Yes, in Hebrew they call it Maseroth, the Maseroth. So that's also a determinator of our will and our decision making. And the fourth one is, of course, quite a simple one, but it's very important, and that is like the collective word for circumstances, because God means placer, and He
Mm-hmm.
is the one who places all circumstances on our path of life. So, and all these circumstances, they influence our will, our decision making. Because if I'm planning to go to a movie tonight, and I just heard, by the way, this afternoon, that an aunt of mine, my mother's sister, she passed away
Mm.
So,
yesterday evening. I just heard it, and this is an example. And maybe I would go to the movies, and it's not possible because it's a
right.
circumstance that influences my decision making, and that's who places these things on our paths. It's
Of
God
course, it's
also.
God. Yeah.
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 which
So
destroys free will right there. Like, how can you act
totally,
independently in his creation?
yes,
It's just such
yes,
a crazy concept.
yes, of course. By the way, so we have a will. Yes, we have a will, 100%, but it is for 0% free. Free means independent of circumstances, independent of God. Let me put it like that. If impossible.
I
So
know.
free will is a farce. It's not non-existent. What did you want to say, Kat?
No, I just agree.
That's
Oh,
a
okay.
very good way to explain it too, because it's a way that everyone can understand. You don't even have to go into the scriptures to just explain that. It's easy. Of course, God
Yeah.
controls all things. He's God. You live in His creation. It's a
Yes.
very good way to explain it.
Exactly.